Good morning and thank you for joining me. Today's presentation is a presentation about the planning for a nonprofit online website dedicated to helping domestic violence victims. The name, Give Them Wings, is very significant for me. As a child, I lived in a very abusive, domestic violence, child abuse, drug infested home. And there would be times that I would go outside when I was not directly part of the explosion happening, and I would just lay and stare at the stars and wishing that I could just fly away, that I could grow wings and disappear and be gone. And that's where I have gotten the name Give Them Wings from for this website. It's from my own desires, my own personal experience of wanting to just run away, fly away, just give them wings so that they can have their freedom. But the website is so important and so much needed. Domestic violence is a hidden crisis. It is impacting millions of people, men and women. My focus is usually on women and children, but don't let that fool you. Men are part of this too. In the United States alone, there are nearly 20 people every minute who are physically abused by an intimate partner, or domestic violence, as we call it. Over a year, that's more than 10 million women and men. For women, the numbers are particularly staggering. 1 in 4 women will experience severe intimate partner physical violence in their lifetime. An average of 3 women are killed by husbands or boyfriends every day. This violence isn't always physical. Nearly half of all women in the U.S. experience psychological aggression by an intimate partner. This abuse is strong predicator of PTSD. For those trapped, the feeling of isolation is immense, making the act of seeking help feel almost impossible. I would like to change that and give an option to people who maybe they can't do it right then in the presence of their spouse, but maybe they can get to a friend's house or a laptop at the library or something and give them choices. This is a way for me to give back to the community, and that's where I would like to see this go. My name is RenataBangs, and I'm currently a graduate student at Full Sail University, pursuing a degree in new media journalism. I am excited to present this business plan for my nonprofit website, Give Them Wings, which aims to serve a specific community through an impactful journalism and storytelling. This presentation outlines the foundational elements of the website, including its mission, its audience, content and strategy, and revenue model. As a survivor, I bring a personal element to this project and plan to share my own personal stories through this website. The primary beat of my nonprofit website, as I mentioned before, is domestic violence and childhood abuse. The website will center around community development and providing resources to victims through a shared experience and stories. This focus was chosen based on my personal experiences and academic background. Using my personal journey to show the importance of giving a voice to anyone who needs to find hope and strength has been a lifelong dream. My passion for journalism stems from a dream to tell the secrets of my past, in which I was unable to speak out and endured years of abuse, both as a child and as an adult. Through interviews, investigative reporting, and multimedia storytelling, the website will explore topics related to childhood abuse and domestic violence. These topics will include education and resources. It'll highlight survival stories and pay respect to those who did not make it out. You may be asking, who is in the most need of a safe, discreet resource? Our website is designed to be a lifeline for those facing the greatest risk and those most likely to seek anonymous support. Younger women between the ages of 16 and 34 are the most likely to be victimized by an intimate partner. They are also highly prevalent users of the internet and digital devices. The hesitant seeker. A victim often fears the repercussions of seeking help through traditional channels like police or healthcare. Many seek help from online health communities or support groups because of the anonymity they provide. The isolated woman or man. Abusers often work to cut off their victims, friends, and family. For these individuals, the internet can be one of the only remaining discreet ways to connect with life-saving resources. Adult women over the age of 18, consumers who are actively committed to change and may have experienced abuse on some level themselves or through loved ones. To effectively reach this audience, the website will employ a multi-platform distribution strategy, including regular updates on social media, email, newsletter, and interactive contents such as polls and comment sections. This group of people are the most likely to use or access the website. The mission of my nonprofit website is to empower underserved communities through investigative journalism and storytelling that drives social change. Since the inception of this project, the mission has evolved to emphasize not only reporting, but also community engagement and advocacy. The website aims to be a trusted source of information that highlights local issues, celebrates community achievements, and fosters dialogue among stakeholders. We operate on the principles of integrity, inclusion, transparency, and impact. For the individual seeking help from domestic violence, trust is a prerequisite that has often been brutally destroyed. Our commitment is to reflect these values in every aspect of the website, building a mountain of trust that empowers readers to feel secure, valued, and respected as they access life-saving resources and support. We've already discussed some of the focus content through feature articles, stories, videos, and we will treat it like any other website, distributing it through multi-social media accounts. I would like to eventually incorporate interactive features, live Q&As, polls, and community involvement, also giving people an option to comment or talk to me if they need be. But one thing I'd like to talk about now is some of the benefits of having a website like this. One of the benefits is for women to access this information and have information that can help them safely plan to get out of this situation. Women accessing online resources are primarily seeking information and support, help with safety planning, legal advice, and information on dynamics of abuse. The website can provide structured tools to help them prepare to leave safely. Another benefit is overcoming barriers. Online platforms help victims overcome major obstacles in personal services such as fear of discovery, lack of transportation, or financial control by the abuser. The content that I want to put on there are not only just informational fact finding, but other women who have had to overcome those exact barriers, people who were able to do it, and explain the the difference in making a strategic move and some of the things that people might have to sacrifice to get free of the abuse. There's another, connecting with people is another great benefit because the website connects survivors to support networks, allowing them to seek emotional encouragement, break the cycle. That it gives them an online community and a space to tell their story, opening critical steps for their healing process. Our website is more than just pages and links. It is a safe connection to a life free of abuse, providing the information and support needed to move from silence to survival. In order to sustain a nonprofit website financially, I plan to pursue a combination of employment opportunities and monetization strategies outlined in one of the books from class, the GNI Startups Playbook. Initially, I will seek freelance assignments and stringer roles with established media outlets to generate income and build credibility. The website will explore monetization through reader donations and sponsored content that aligns with the site's values. Crowdfunding campaigns and grant application will also be pursued to support investigative projects and community initiatives. Some of these grants I found on the Office on Violence Against Women, or the OVW, through the U.S. Department of Justice, and they have numerous grants that I'm looking into applying for that are specifically designed to help women through domestic violence.
Okay, here we are on Give Them Wings website. This is what the homepage looks like. It is a work in progress, so there's a lot of things that I don't have access right now because I'm using the free plan through WordPress to make this. So I don't have access to pop-ups, which is why this warning sign is here. So I have provided a warning to viewers that this site is going to contain graphic language, violence, and other themes intended for adults. It also includes a warning that you could be triggered, which is a huge thing. If you get on here and you have PTSD or some other kind of mental thing, that this may trigger you. And it is something that is an actual real thing that happens. So I have added that. You can see that I have several different pages and a subscribe button, which in the process of doing this, I subscribe to myself. So every time I make a change, my email lets me know. With that being said, I have included an about page, which is going to tell you a little about myself with some cheesy picture that I took at the beach when it was a gorgeous day. It gives you places to go see some of my other work here. Once, if I get anybody to collaborate with me, they will have their own about page and their work can be displayed there. I have some of those same things down here. Just so that you can, and once you click on it, it's linked, so it's going to take you straight to where you can find that work or where you can purchase that work, just depending. My mission's very clear. I have my core, our mission and our core values, all, and our vision. And what I really want, this is really important to me because right now this is the beginning stages of what I'm working on, and it is, I don't even share it yet. My family doesn't even know I'm working on it. But my vision is simple. It says here, our vision is a world where silence is no longer a weapon against survivors of abuse. We envision future where the stigma surrounding childhood abuse and domestic violence is replaced with open dialogue. Survivors are empowered with resources, knowledge, and community they need to heal and thrive. Our collective voice becoming a powerful voice for prevention, creating a society that protects its most vulnerable members. And the stories once told in whispers are now shared as beacons of hope and resilience, inspiring others to embark on their own journeys towards freedom. This is very important because that's what I want this to become. Right now, as I said before, it's a work in progress. Um, I also have, and these will probably get rearranged at some point, but right now, our next page is the stories. I have tagged this specific page for true stories of survivors. Anything that I tag with that is going to also come here. Some people may not need the information that's going to be provided on the first page. It may not have, they may just be looking for stories, maybe something to make themselves feel better. I'm not sure. Um, a lot of reasons for people to just come straight to this page. Um, when this starts out, it's going to be a lot of my stories. So if anybody gets interested in learning my story and the things I've survived in my life, you'll want to come straight to this page because that's where they're going to come in pieces, but they're going to come to this page. I've also recorded or made a page for resources by state. Every state has a resource. These are all domestic violence resources. And the reason that I have not put any resources uh, for children yet is simply it takes an adult to help a child. Uh, if it if a child's looking for resources, they're probably going to go to their teachers, their counselors, police officers. They're more apt to go to that than online. There will be resources for that coming, but right now it's they're not here. I also have a disclaimer that tells you I am not a professional. I am not a counselor, legal advisor, or an advocate. These are the information that I put on here is all based on my experiences with it. But I want you to know that there are again, more resources for you to go to and find help that is, the professionals that can help you. I also have the Let's Chat. I do have on this, I have resources that do not just include, I have the National Drug Hotline. I also have domestic violence and a suicide hotline. Because if you've ever known anybody who has suffered immense abuse, whether it be domestic violence or childhood abuse, it is definitely something that needs to be thought of, because these are all things. Me personally, I have all these things that I've had to deal with, whether it be drug and alcohol or the fact that there was times I didn't want to live. I have never attempted suicide, but I have definitely thought about it. So those, and I will have these throughout the whole website. These will continue to show up and on stories and other places. This is something that it's going to take work. Another interesting thing, and my tags are here, but I have pinned these two here. This eventually will be a pop-up that once you enter this site, it's going to have a warning. It's also going to have probably from the ages of 16 and up, that you have to say you're at least that old. I would say at 16 you're dating and you should have access to this, but I need them to click on a button that says that there's going to be stories of adult nature on this website. But I've tagged this one because women will tell you, survivors of domestic violence and abuse will tell you that the physical pain is awful and nobody wants to go through it, but it does heal much faster than the mental pain. The majority of my abuse as an adult was mental. There was physical, but it was mostly mental abuse. And you stop believing in yourself. You stop believing in the truth. You stop thinking that you have anywhere to go, and you start to hear only those negative voices, the ones that told you you are nothing, you are fat, you are ugly, you are never going to make it. Those are the words that stop so many women in their place. So I started it out by pinning this to the front page that says you are beautiful, you are smart, and you are worthy, along with other things. It is very important that one of the first things you read is a positive thing that you can look at it. All the informational stuff is going to appear on this front page. This is going to be, your resource guide, your in here were your definitions, your warning signs, what it is, the warning signs of physical abuse. If you see a child somewhere that has these things, it's something definitely to pay very close attention to. And those are all going to appear on this first page. Eventually, maybe Rain Range have their own page. I'm not sure yet. So in a nutshell, this is what the beginning stages of this looks like. I know that when I graduate in 10 months, that this will be an almost up and running, if not sooner than that. And I will monitorize it and hopefully have some crowdfunding and some professionals and some things on here that will just make this stand out. But this is where we are right now. This is what I have right now. It's very easy. One other thing that I want to say is that in my research of looking at other domestic violence websites, many of them have a quick exit button that appears on every post, so that if they are trying to research for help in the presence, or if their abuser walks in, that they can exit quickly. Some people, there's mixed feelings on that. Some people say that that's not even a good thing. I say it can't hurt. If you're taking the chance to look on something and they're close by, you probably are that desperate. And I'd rather have it than not have it. All right, this concludes our video of the website, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you for taking your time to review my business plan for a nonprofit website. Your support and feedback are invaluable as I continue to refine and grow this initiative. I am deeply committed to using journalism as a tool for empowerment and change. I look forward to collaborating with others who share this vision. This presentation marks an important step in my journey as a graduate student and aspiring journalist, and I am grateful for the opportunity to share it with you. Help me help others. It may sound cliche to you, but it is actually very meaningful to me. The information that I want to provide and the stories that I want to tell are stories that I wish I would have had. I spent way too long looking for the answers and the way out, and if I can prevent somebody from wasting many, many years on a situation, or possibly not making it out, or save somebody's child, save somebody's daughter, and help them get out of here, then my struggles will have been worth something. And the struggles of the women who have survived and gotten out, and the contributors to this, the doctors, the lawyers, the information that is going to go on this website, they will all be for something and for change. And that's what I want this website to ultimately end up being, is to help change people's lives in the better, for the better. Thank you again for joining me.